What's up, fam? This is your W3BC morning macro. The best way to understand what's moving markets. Markets aren't just going up or down. They're being rebuilt in real time. Global finance is moving 24/7 and on-chain. 24/7, the system's alive. No closing bell, we're crossing the line. On-chain rails, yeah, the future's aligned. New market structure, redesign. Liquidity slow, but the build is fast. Old world fading, it won't last. From Tokyo rates to the dollar path, you can feel the shift in the aftermath. Bitcoin chopping, no breakout yet. Market waiting, positioning set. Not euphoria, don't forget, this is where the stage is set. While price stands still, the rails get built. Quiet moves, but the change is real. Markets never close, markets never close. On-chain 24, that's the way it goes. Markets never close, markets never close. New rails, new rules, welcome to the flow. Nasdaq moving in the token trades, S&P running through crypto lanes. 24 hours, no delays, this is how the system upgrades. Tokenized assets, real world scale. Treasuries moving without the rails. 27 billion and it won't fail. This is where the old world pales. Institutions aren't buying the tokens yet. They're building the rails first. From credit funds to global flows, chain link linking what nobody knows. Underneath where the system grows, a new foundation starts to show. Payments moving, it's not the same. Shopify shifting the whole game. PayPal scaling across the chain. You won't notice, but nothing's the same. Stablecoins flowing through every lane. Commerce running without the pain. Not just hype, this is real change. Embedded rails in a new domain. No more open, no more close. Just a system that flows. Markets never close, markets never close. On-chain 24, that's the way it goes. Markets never close, markets never close. This is the share everybody knows. W3BC, when am I broke? Get 1% better. Let's go.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hope you guys are doing well, GM. It's Thursday. It's pre-pizza day, the day before pizza day, as you can see. I got my coffee. I'm ready to go. Got the backup, ready to go. It's going to be a good show. Guys, smash the like button. I appreciate you being here. Man, that intro today got me moving. A lot of things are working structurally. As you can see from the title, tokenized stocks, stablecoins, and the new financial system. Underneath the hood, when we go through the articles, you're going to see there's a lot of stuff's shifting to a 24/7 model. It is interesting. A lot of your traditional financial markets they're gonna shift. Nasdaq moving over. It's happening. The SEC approved that. There's Shopify, PayPal, like they're going stable coins. Like it is crazy. I know PayPal has, its own already, but it's now like in 70 more markets, and Shopify is integrating USDC. And so this shit's happening. The world is going digital, man. If you're a crypto guy or gal, crypto guys or gals, we did it. We made it. GM to the crew. Let's see, DJ and Brian taking home the gold today. He's back. Good job. That's funny. I love all this. Michael Navarro in the building. Curtis Gore in the house. Picking up he got the bronze, and he didn't even have to get out of bed until 7:40, he says. Good for you, sir. Cheers. And then let's see. Michael Navarro. Him and I agree. I don't know. That post didn't go through. That's weird. Oh yeah, no, it did. I get up about 4:30, 4:30, sometimes in the late 3 o'clock hour. I'm up now, but today was a 4:30, 4:15, 4:30, somewhere in there, and boom, that's just the way it works, man. I hope that if you guys love your sleep, that never changes for you. But as you get older, I like to go to I like to go to bed earlier. I'm not sometimes too early. I get it, but I like to go to bed early and wake up early. That's just part of the routine. But speaking of, appreciate you guys being here. Smash the like button. Come on in when you're coming in on X, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Curtis, one more day and I'm cruising. Let's go, man. I hope that you go on a fantastic cruise. We have not, Whit and I have been cruisers for years. I think potentially since the COVID pause, only I went on a cruise, right? Or did Whitney go in with her friend and then I went with Ross like a few years ago? I don't know. I think we definitely haven't gone together, and now our daughter is 4, and so we are super excited. I was actually talking with my sister the last time we were in Chicago, and they're like big Disney people, and they also like cruises, but a lot of like my family is Disney people. Not so much me, but we would do the Disney cruise so that I could have the cruise and they could have the Disney. That's a great compromise. Great compromise. Could potentially be better than going to Orlando, Florida. Probably definitely better than going to Southern California. And I love LA. I love Anaheim. But it's weird there. People are weird. Man, but Curtis, dude, have fun on your cruise. Have fun on your cruise. Makes me want to go on a cruise for sure. But instead, we'll be getting through the news. Let's see. Let's put on some. I'm going to have to turn this way down. And let's put on some background music. We go to the playlist here, the morning macro. How is the volume on the background music? Is that okay for you guys? Is it too loud, too low? You let me know. Let me know down in the chat. I will use you guys as the reference point for the music. All right. Got a lot of stuff to get through today. Question is, couple questions. The new morning, the macro minute dropped this morning. I hope you guys are enjoying that. Haven't seen a whole ton of feedback, so either you're enjoying it or you hate it so much you don't even want to talk about it. But either way, I hope some of you are getting something out of it. I've gotten some comments where people are saying that they love the quick breakdown, a quick little digest of some things in the morning. I started today. I got to figure out some different layout stuff and how I'm going to do this, but I'm definitely going to start adding some charts and some numbers in there. So there's some different context. So it's not just all news. I don't want to just be like a news regurgitator. I want it to kind of like, it has like a flow because of like the narrative, but let's put some numbers on it too, and maybe that'll help people understand, what we're looking at. So that's something I will continue to evolve. But the whole thing about just doing it is just doing it, and that's the message that I've been telling people for years, right? Like if you want to start, doing some content, if you want to make it happen, just do it. Like it'll suck in the beginning, or it'll evolve, it'll change, you'll get better, all that stuff. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just following my own advice. I'm just doing it. I get up in the morning, I do all this stuff, I look at all the articles. I'm up before, like, it's funny, like I have my Google alert set for 6 a.m. and now I'm up at like 4:30. I'm at my desk by like 4:45 or 5 o'clock. And so I'm picking all my own headlines now. I just said, screw it. Like I'm not waiting for that thing anymore. And so I don't. So it's all part of it. It's working out a lot better. I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, let's get into the show. Great opportunity for y'all to smash the like button. You can only do it one time. You can only do it one time, but I would appreciate it if you do. Number one thing you can do to help me and this show grow. This is the morning macro. It's like, we do a lot of the news. We alluded to some numbers. At some point, like if the conditions are right, like we'll hop into a trade. But we're building the narrative of the day, at least from what the headlines are showing us. We're building our narrative, and that again, if you're just hopping in, is that institutions are coming in. The global finance is going 24/7, and you're going to find that out today. And there's a lot of big corporations that are getting on board, that are getting in through stablecoins. I think stablecoin and with the banks and stuff that we've been looking at over the last couple weeks, or this last couple days, this week, the deposit tokens. We got some stuff coming out. I've got the first video of the Intelligent Finance series all shot. I've started to edit it yesterday. It will go out tomorrow, because tomorrow on Fridays it's like it's going to be 8 videos in total. I got the first one done. So every Friday I'm going to release this, and it's Intelligent Finance Friday, right? Why not? And so that'll drop tomorrow at some point, probably in the afternoon. DJ Brian was buying tokenized stocks a year ago on Solana. Yes, you were. Yeah, we were talking about this. Now it was just basically like IOUs. Like it wasn't. You don't get like voting rights. You don't get dividends. It's not like having a Class A share or anything. But it's on its way. See the Hondo one. Yeah. So there's a lot more things they're rolling it out. There's even something else newer. I'm sure there'll be a great opportunity to go through some of this stuff. I am in conversation with a bunch of people to have some guests on from the institutional world to talk about this kind of stuff. So hopefully, in the next week or so, we'll get it. And it'll probably, because 8 a.m. to do. I mean, we'll get some people to go live. Don't get me wrong. But I think for the most part, especially for the first couple, we'll just end up, pre-recording them and then, just playing them live during the show. So, we can maybe even like talk about it. We'll play it and then react to it or whatever. So, all that stuff is coming up, and hopefully we'll have some things soon. So, and if you know anybody, if you are somebody and you want to come on, you want to talk about the macro headlines, you want to talk about the charts, you want to talk about what's going on, tokenization, anything really that is relevant to the show, you're more than welcome. Just drop a chat and let me know there, or shoot me a DM on socials. You can do that, and shoot me an email. You can find my email. It's pretty easy to find. And maybe what we'll do is put it up here one of these days. I'll get a little thing that'll like go. Armand in the building. Toot toot. Toot toot. Toot toot. Rand says he's leaving crypto. All of them always say that. He's not leaving crypto. He may like shift his focus for a little bit, but he ain't leaving crypto. Nobody is if you're really stuck. Fear and greed index at 24, obviously dropping a little bit today than it was yesterday. We were up to 27. Everybody was feeling the hype. They were feeling the smoking the hopium. Everybody was smoking the hopium. We got a reality check today, last night, down to 69,000 or whatever it may be. We'll look at the crypto market cap here in just a second here. But everybody got a little punch in the gut if you were smoking that hopium. I was trying to go long yesterday during some of that stuff. I got some good scalps and I got some bad scalps. I got wicked out on some things, stopped out, always putting the stop loss in. Now you guys have taught me well. I hate doing it because I feel like it just gets stopped out as soon as you put it in, but whatever. That's the whole point of putting in a tight stop, right? And the whole point is what you're looking for is your confirmation to be correct. Like, I don't want to sit there and sometimes I will, right? Like, sometimes I will let the market breathe and I will not put in a stop and, just let it kind of flow. But if I'm like pressure trading or if I'm scalp trading, I want it to go one direction and one direction only. Like, I don't want it to fuck around and like potentially lose the trade. And so, it's a tight stop. And so you might lose 30 bucks, 40, 50 bucks, whatever, boom, boom, boom. But like the ones that you hit when it does go the direction because, everything's playing out, it makes up for it. That was kind of the stuff that we were talking about last night on Trade Daddies. In case you missed it, you can go back and watch that. Great opportunity to learn some things. Was learning from Mike about the 21 day and and some of the other stuff that he's working on. He's got an indicator that it's on the 5 minute. We can take a look at that in a little bit here when we get over to TradingView, just so you guys know. There's the link in case you guys want to join. I forget sometimes, and this is a great reminder. Join the trade team. Join us over on BitUnext. There is a deposit bonus right now. You get a 20% deposit bonus. And then if you're a new timer, if it's a new account, you get 20% on your deposit. And then there's a volume bonus that, depending on how much you trade, and on the platform there, you will get a bonus up to that. I think it's like for every 2 million, you get like $400, and with some leverage and some money, it's not hard to hit that. It's not hard. Our trade team's been crushing it, like several million in the last couple days. Shout out to the team. You know, markets are good. We're making some trades. We're doing a lot of activities. So let's go. I think there is, let's see. There is a few more weeks left of that. That ends April 7th. There is also the March Carnival that is got a couple $100,000 trade. Whatever your volume is, you get some bonus. There's a bounty up for sale, or up, not for sale, but a bounty up there on you know, that's the platform itself. I got to take a look at that and see if we can all join that or not. There was some question in the Discord. I haven't heard back yet. I gotta reach back out to my guy and see if we can get some information of what some clarification on something. But I will do that. Gas fields got hit hard in the war yesterday, looking like gas is all going the way up. I am going to have to buy a beater to run around. HC does not bankrupt me. Oh man. Looks like I will be riding my motorcycle a lot more because that sucker is so fuel efficient. But then we opened up our own pipelines. Our oil, the prices should be going down. Hopefully, if all of that is true. Right, and we can maybe even take a look at that. When we look at the charts, we'll pull up oil, we'll look at some news. You know, it's maybe a good segment to add into the show is talk about what is going on geopolitically with the war. Haven't really been paying much attention to that. Been really just hyper focused on what is happening in our space, because I know that there is parallel and all that stuff. But we did see. And there was, confirmation based on, if you look at some of the other, like S&P 500, we looked at this last night, the S&P 500 and gold versus Bitcoin since the Iran conflict. And Bitcoin is up, it was up 10% yesterday while everything is down 3-4%, whatever it may be. It's proving its value at this time. And so, until something goes terribly wrong, it may be, we just business as usual for now. And like, do we potentially see another leg down? Yeah. Are we bullish? Constantly, 100%. Like it could flip at any moment. It could go back up to 150,000. Is that highly likely? No, not really. But do I wish that it could happen? Absolutely. And I think a lot of people do too. Not gonna be up for much longer. Waiting for better weather to become a biker again. I've ridden a little bit. We've had a few nice days towards the tail end of the winter. It's been, the temperature dropped back down. We've been freezing overnight, or it's been cold as fuck here. And so we brought all the plants into the garage from outside, all the trees. We got like a peach tree, lemon tree, blood orange tree, a bunch of all the other plants that we have outside on our front and back patios. And so we brought them into the garage, and they just like go in the back, like around the motor. So the thing is, the bike is not going anywhere until the plants get out of there. So we're all in this together, me and the plants. We're not having any fun. No wind therapy until it warms up. All right. I think we can sufficiently start the show now. -10 was the coldest I rode back in my working days. Man, -10 on a bike, dude. I mean, unless you got like leather chaps, a leather jacket, and I mean obviously a gaiter to cover your neck, and a helmet with a face mask to cover your face, like you're probably fine. Maybe you had a big windshield on your bike, a sissy shield. I have one. It's a fairing is what I call it. And so there are some other names that a fairing that people say that if you have a windshield or a fairing, that's what you are. But whatever. 2 jackets, damn. Yeah, you got to wear like a down and a leather or something. Who knows? All right, let's refresh just in case the market's changed in our chit chat there. Welcome to the show. Welcome. We had we chit chatted for a while. No, yeah, okay. I see. I knew it. I knew you'd be one of them. You probably have 2 bikes with windshields, but you're just gonna say that. No shields, pussies use them. I get it. That's why they call them a sissy shield. All right, crypto fear and greed X out at 24. You said yesterday, remember, it was a 27. So we are coming back down. Was everybody smoking the hopium when we pumped up a little bit? We're gonna find out. Where it's like I was saying earlier, everybody got a little bit of ate some humble pie. because we are back down to 69.6 today, down 4.21%. So I felt like today, and this is where we're at right now, because remember we were pumping yesterday. The crypto market itself down 3.41%. You got the fear and greed X over here at 30. Look at that, closer than they normally have. Well, at least that they have been. There was one time that we looked at it that they were identical, which is wild to me. But that being said, today we are a little bit closer at a 30 here. Altcoin season 51. Not true. Not true. I do not think that that is the case at all. Bitcoin slipping some more. It was just 15 the other day. 14 high. Curtis, my Sportster did not have a shield, but my Electroglide did. Guess I was a part-time pussy. A halfer. Listen, you can go faster, much faster, with a little bit of a fairing on your bike. Like I've got a, oh my God, a Street Bob. I got a Harley Street Bob, and it's a 2019 Street Bob, and it's got, look, the fairing, if I'm riding, because I got like some apes, they're not high, they're not like real huge apes, but the thing blocks enough wind to where I can get that thing cooking, triple digis, and I'm not getting tossed around, I'm not getting blown. You know what I mean? Some people like that. Bitcoin down 20.84% in the last 90 days. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a little segment we like to call Yarg mateys. Walk the plank for me, would ya? Bitcoin down 20.84%. We are bottom feeding. We are going shrimping. We're looking to see, are there any opportunities? Because if we are going down today, if this is a down day, here's the deal. Let's just, you know what? We have to do this. We got the DXY opened up. We'll get into this in just a little bit, but I feel like, look, here's the total market cap. Everything is headed down today on a, like we were looking on a big move, right? Like here, this is on the daily. So the last couple days we're coming down. I feel like, and it's not like we need to chart altcoins or the whole market, but I feel like this is our first target for us to potentially catch a bottom. I mean, look at all this support. Oop. Shift. What in the hell is it doing that? Grab the line, shift, make it straight. So look at all of these on the daily. All of these candles that stopped right there. All right. That's a lot of activity. That's a lot of support. And remember, this is the entire market. This is not just any one particular coin. But that would be, I would say, a general indicator of what we're going to do. And if the entire market just sees a little bit of a leg down, you see several billion, maybe 100 billion get wiped off the table. That puts us in a great range. We don't have the volume profile on. Let's do that and just like right here. So this is where it peaks up right here. So I would think if the entire market plunges, we're going to start a 231 trillion. Let's look at others, because coin market cap's talking about a 50 on the altcoin index, right? And I feel like, ooh, you know what would be good to do here? Let's do this. Let's see. Can we make anything out of this? So this line right here is the Bitcoin dominance. This blue line is Bitcoin dominance. This chart is the others chart. So if you guys are not familiar, the others chart is everything excluding the top 10 in market cap, right? So no Bitcoin, Ethereum, Stablecoin, Solana, XRP, shit like that. For my Cardano fam, it does include you, I believe. Let's double check before I misspeak. Sure does. Just so you guys know, Cardano is in fact included in this count. But if let's go to 2025. So dominance way up over the market. This is the daily. Let's see if we could go weekly. Does this tell us anything? That's way down there. Okay, now we're so now. So since mid 2021, oh, this is moving around a little bit. But since mid 2021, altcoins. Is it wise to be doing this with Bitcoin dominance over the others chart? Is this even making sense? I'm trying to see if there's any relation to altcoin season with Bitcoin dominance, because that's stuff that we've talked about in the past when, you know, when you see dominance, because it like it flatlines. So it's really hard to like make a correlation here. We'll have to, I'll probably, you know, pull this strategy offline and take another look. Really evaluate there, because the whole idea of trying to find that relationship between the dominance in the altcoin markets and the potential for an altcoin season was not like alarmingly like, oh wow, right there. Oh, you guys are funny. Pantyhose. Oh my goodness. Y'all got jokes. Holy smokes. I've been told pantyhose helps, but I'll pass. And tell me hardcore bikers have told me to wear pantyhose. Never did. Double up Log John's pants, jackets a few times. Man, oh man. Could you imagine throwing on some pantyhose? You could just throw some chaps on. I mean, the leather like blocks the wind. You should be all right. Should be all right. Okay. Let's close that up and let's move on over to stablecoin market cap. We can look at this on the RWA scene. CME futures don't matter much today. Dominance, I was looking at this morning. You know, we're obviously we lost the battle for the 60%. That was a fight. That was a fight that we fought over the course of several months, and we just could not get back up there. And I think, obviously, you know, there's a lot of dilution and all that stuff that played into the market that really would keep this, even though it's the Bitcoin show, even though that's what institutions care about, even though that's what the sovereign wealth funds care about. A lot of this stuff, you know, we have to really look under the hood for and see like. Potentially, you know, getting back up, getting a reversal on dominance, going up, triggering, you know, some altcoin sell-off. That I believe is going to happen. However, you can clearly see that this line, I mean, that's a wackadoodle line, but you can see that this is clearly, why is it's like moving up on me? It's like, anyway, we'll use this line. That would be. What the hell is going on? You can see though that that's on the trajectory is down for dominance, and so I would think that if this continues to go down, or if we see a big plunge, like that would trigger an altcoin market. So the conditions, they're getting better. We're not ready for altcoin season. Like, remember back in this was back in December of 2024. We had a really big drop in the dominance, and that had like a little baby altcoin run. Like that was a little baby altcoin run. This, unfortunately, this drop has taken the entire market with it. This unfortunately, that dominance drop really took a lot of things with it. Now, there were some things that survived. Let's take a look at some of the altcoins. We like to look at XRP. Shout out to the XRP army in the building. I would say the XRP chart on the weekly looks like trash, like absolute trash. Nice. Blocky in the building. Let's go. Blocky's ripping a four-wheeler. Let's get it. When we have a meetup after the next bull run, we're gonna have a meetup, and we should just have like a biker meetup. And whether you ride a four-wheeler, a dirt bike, a motorcycle, a scooter, a bird scooter or a lime scooter, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do a little ride somewhere. Ride. Web3 ride. All right, so like here's the deal with XRP. I'm not really sure when the time to buy XRP is going to be. Is this the bottom? Is this blue line here the bottom? Do we have an alarm set on this? What is that blue line? Or is that the... Let's set the alarm on this. XRP buy. Maybe. We got it right, maybe. We're not telling anybody to do anything. That's a maybe buy. Because here, look, like what's happening here? It's trying to give back everything that it gained after it beat the SEC. Like, what the fuck is that about? You know what I mean? Like, let's zoom this out. Like, this is... Oh, this is on BitUnex, that's why. Okay, so it only goes back a certain distance. So let's just go back to here, right? Where things were rocking and rolling, and they beat the SEC. We're getting to the edge of 2024. Everything's good. We bottomed out back over here in late July of 2024. This was right here. Clearly was our former resistance point that ultimately became something we blew through, and we have never come back to touch it. We've never come back to touch this line at 64 cents. That's interesting. I'd be willing to bet that XRP has got to take a trip down to 64, a trip down to memory lane, right? Like, if it's going to happen, if we're going to see another dump, if we're going to see big corrections, if this was the bottom right here and we pivot up from here, then so be it. But if we see the bottom again, I'm willing to bet that this 64 cents is going to be the first target we touch, because that was our massive resistance point. We had a hard time here. This is the weekly chart, guys. Remember that. We had a hard time getting up over this area. This was a resistance, a massive resistance pot. And it could have been manipulation that was keeping it there. We know that. But it could have just been that natural resistance point that was back down here. Would it be fucking wild to see XRP down in the 60, 50 cent range? Absolutely. Plausible? Potentially. Are we ruling it out? Not at all. Did we bottom out? I think a lot of people think that we did. But I'll tell you what, this chart does look like trash. You're in a downtrend until you're not. You're on the low side of the trend that's on a massive downtrend. Set some orders. I would set some orders. I would set some orders right there at 64,440. That's what I would do. For sure. The idea of trying to catch a generational bottom, and it may wick a little bit lower than that. That's okay. But if you catch it into this zone, if you catch XRP in this zone, that'd be wild, man. That'd be a deal of a lifetime, because you know where it's going after it does. It's going back up there. Ethereum. Ethereum on a, and I thought it looks funny. I thought we was in a bull run, man. Look at this downtrend. This isn't a bull market. What about that was a fucking bull market? This right here? You consider that a bull market? That was not a bull market. This is a bull market. This is a bull market. This ain't a fucking bull market. We've been in a downtrend on Ethereum since August of 2022. Ethereum is not in a bull market. When it does go into a bull market, it's going to be massive. When DeFi takes off, it's going to be massive. It'll have its Bitcoin moment. It'll have a moment that outshines this right here. This gain was 1,000%. Where is Ethereum at right now? Point of control. We gotta go up more. Oh, this is the ETH versus BTC. Damn it, I hate when that happens. Let me get rid of this chart. I don't even want that on there. That tells a different story. Man, we got to race. I'm so sorry, Ethereum. I'm so sorry, Ethereum. Oh, I feel terrible now. I feel terrible for dogging on ETH. Look at that. That's a bull market. Let's remove all these drags. That, ladies and gentlemen, is textbook bull market. It's the weekly, so we can draw through some of this stuff like that. Ultimately, it's telling us the same story. This thing is on a massive uptrend. ETH is crushing it. Only Bitcoin had a bull market for real, though. This last time, only Bitcoin did. I would say that this is pretty good, though, from top to bottom here. 2% or 2x, 2.37 x, not bad. That being said, let's make sure that we've now bring the lines out for wicks included. So if we are, say we come back down here to the bottom and we stay true to trend and we come back up here, we could see, another 2x coming out of ETH, getting to 5,500. That's what I would think is the next potential once we get back to favorable conditions. We've got to understand what these are like to experience this. You got to understand what this is like to get this. You got to deal with this to get this. We're dealing with this so that we can get this. That's what we're waiting for. So this is a great opportunity. If you're a spot buyer, you should be spot buying. If you're a leverage trader, if you're a futures trader, you should be watching. You got to obviously zoom in a lot closer. This particular lesson was more of the outlook, right? That's where we're zoomed out on the weekly for a lot of these charts, because we want to take a broader scope of where is this headed. Not so much right now. Right now, we understand that the short-term pain right now, for most cases, is temporary, because look where this is going. Up here into this circle. This is Ethereum. Ondo. I'm afraid to do this sometimes, but let's run it like that. This is when we're smoking some hopium here for sure. We're gonna cast a wide net. I'm smoking a hopium, Jay, in honor of Ondo today, because look, if we get this bounce, if this is what happened, we and then rocket ship. That's what happens. That's what's going to happen to Ondo, is it's going to rocket ship over the next couple of years as tokenization, as RWAs grow. Like one of our headlines, we're talking about $27 billion. Remember, we just started talking about these things just a few years ago, right? Just a few years ago, we were talking about these things, and now they're starting to come to fruition. Now we're starting to see the amplification. Now we are starting to see, this tokenization world really start to take shape in a different shape than I think a lot of us first originally thought that it was going to when it was first kind of talked about and announced. And so there we go. Ondo looking huge. Big things coming to Ondo. I'm telling you guys. I am telling you that. Linky, stinky linkies. Let's see. We got a wide net that we're going to cast here today too for the linky machines. The linky marines, not the machines. What the heck was that about? Pull it right there. So there you go. There's the, we could, in theory, send it up there like that, which I think is a great idea, to be honest with you. I think $50 link is programmed always when we were in the Link Marines back in the day. The Suicide Stack was 1500 link. at $100 a pop. And so what does it have to do to get up to 100? Okay, we are here. It's going to have to basically 10x, obviously, at 923 up to 100. Is it possible? That's big time numbers, man. A 10x from here, big time. But it could happen. I mean, over time, look at that chart. That's doable. That eventually catches up. You know what I mean? Let's see. All right. Well, that's ridiculous. We're definitely going to see it happen before 2033, I would think. That would be my opinion, is that at some point, probably around here, around the 2030 area. Let's just, you know what? For the sake of shits and giggles, I may try to leave this on until 2030, and we can call back at this and be like, look, remember 4 years ago? You guys remember when we talked about Link? Talked about it exploding up here into $100 territory by 2030. We called that it was going to be going ba 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 bow. There's the Link chart. Market. Look, get the almanac, get the DeLorean. Let's go to the future. Let's check it out. That's what Link is going to do. Let's move over to AVAX. AVAX is telling us a different story for sure. This is a totally different story. This is the weekly, just like everything else. But we are not ever setting new highs. That is a sad, sad existence. Box it up. I don't think that's the triangle of love either. I could be wrong. This thing could just be flipping and flopping, and then boom, just explodes. Who's an AVAX person? What do we think? What do we think? Who's in AVAX? We're gonna have to talk to some AVAX people about that. I know people like AVAX. I used to. I think for gaming in RWAs, it's gonna do great, but that doesn't tell a really good story. That's up. That's up. That's up. That's up. That's up. Not up at all. It's not up at all. Solana, that's up. Look, we got our generational buys set up down here. Let's see. Let's future forecast here. Dang, G. Dang, G. We thought $800 to a $1,200 coin for Solana is like, that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty reasonable. That's a nice little wide net. That gives us potential, real upside potential based on that. And look, we're on the low side of it. It's on the low side of it. This is like one of those things. And this is, we're smoking hopium. I get it today. We're having some fun. We're looking at these charts. We're looking at potentials. We're telling the story because look, like global finance is moving 24/7. The world is moving to blockchain. The opportunities within blockchain are going to get bigger. The exposure is going to get bigger. They're putting blockchain on the rails. Solana's a big coin. Link is a big coin. XRP is a big coin. ETH is a big coin. Bitcoin is obviously big. And I was saying big, not Bitcoin. I hope that you guys understood that. Let's look at HBAR. HBAR's up. Look at that. See? My HBARbarians. That one's got a nice little casting nets. Look at that. That's a nice wide beak. VeChain. Oof. VeChain. I don't know if we could do the same thing. I mean, this is, oh man. We'll do it like this. Although I don't believe this. I feel like this dip right here was really bad. We got to get to the bottom of that. I don't know what happens here. That's a tough recovery because like, look, like this is like as low as it's ever. And this is actually, let's go. We don't need to focus on it too hard, but still I am not a fan. I'm a big fan of VeChain. I'm not a fan of that happening. Like that was bad. That dip was not good. I don't know if that's recoverable or not. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know how that recovers, and so I don't know if the VBetterDAO ecosystem is what saves that or not. And it has its own coin anyway. I'm slacking on my coffee. Gotta pour some more. It's funny, I need like a different setup because I pour coffee all over my desk when I pour these. Hot. Thank goodness. The last sip was cold. I didn't like that. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you being here. 69 viewers in the building. Let's get it. Okay, so we want to put this back on the DXY. And let's get into we've got to do these real quick. We were looking at Bitcoin because of the chart. So 69.6. Well, let's just refresh it just really quick. 69.6 for Bitcoin, down 3.8%. Ethereum 2152, XRP 144, BNB 641, Solana number 788. There was a potential. We were looking at Solana. Let's look at this on the daily because there was a different. I was looking at a different thing, and it was. And it's here. Golly, get off there. It's with this latest dip, and here is what I'm talking about. Got this. This. Now, if this is like one of these kind of things, look, that's why we have this generational bind on here. That's what this move is about. This is about if we see this is the potential. Remember, everything is setting the stage for absolute massive growth in our ecosystem. Absolutely potential of just mass adoption shit. Banks, stable coins by company, all sorts of stuff. Like it's happening. But if we have a rejection, if we have a complete breakdown of the market, if we have a black swan, $20 for Solana, that's what I'm targeting. We have this thing listed as a sole generational buy. On some of our charts that we've got alerts, generational buys. If it touches this, it's a black swan. It's a weird event. This has got some historical. We got a lot of historical support that was built in here. So this is a natural stopping ground for it. You can see the volume. Look, the volume is here along the side. It is just thin as a rail until we get here. Here's where we start to really understand, like, okay, the elevator's slowing down, potentially, unless it's in a free fall. But that's why we have this alert right here, right? This alert is soul crossing at $50. At $50.24, we got an alarm that is going to notify us and saying, look, it's almost $50. If it gets down to this one, because remember, we have no volume support here. Our first leg is right here, and so we got it at $50 so that we can get an alert before it hits 44. That's the point. So that if it's falling fast, by the time you get the alert, you get to your phone, you get to your computer, whatever it is, you can be in position to look at the charts and understand what is happening. That is just to alert you. It is not to signal it's time to get into action. It's time to, well, get into action. Look at your charts. So that's what we've got those set for Solana. Those will be the opportunities of a lifetime when it comes down there. And I promise you that, because the market is cyclical. Solana plays too big of a role within this ecosystem for it to fail. If Solana, Ethereum, I would think Chainlink, XRP, if those things go to zero, there's been a fundamental breakdown of our entire industry of crypto, and they're all going to zero if any of one of those go to zero. Opinion. Probably not. Some people maybe not share that, but that's something that I feel is right up in line. Sold everything out of Vite, thousands in their wallet. Very heavy in Vite at one time. Yeah. It happens, man. It happens. Yeah, that one definitely, VeChain definitely struggles right now. Shout out to the VFam though. I'm VFam. I still have my nodes. They're still staking. I still have all my NFTs. I still have all my better. I still have all that stuff. I haven't been doing any of the things just because, but I still have my coins. I'm still there. For now. Agreed. Okay. I believe that's it for those charts. Let's get into the news. As we know, yesterday, our buddy JP, he had his second to last speech. I believe April is his last one, if I'm not mistaken. And then he is gone. But rates are unchanged, as we know. Rates also unchanged in Japan. They delayed their rate hike, saying that the Iran war may push up inflation. So they kept their rate steady at 0.75%. The decision was split, with 8 members of the 9-member board voting in favor of a hold, and the conflict in the Middle East will exert upward pressure on inflation, affected by the recent rise in crude oil prices. So while we're looking at this, also got here is the United States fund, the Fed funds interest rate. This is over the last 10 years. So as you can see, we are, since 2024, right? We are at 5.5% up here in August. We are stair-stepping down. I believe the goal was to get to like 2%, right? And so that would match 2.5% would match 2019 goals. So we'll see what they say there. And then let's see charts. The DXY here. We see we're taking we're on a little bit of a ripper here overall. We peaked out over here in September of 22. So something to take a look at when you've got your liquidity. There's all the risk settlements and stuff. And so let's just go pop into this article really quick, see what they're saying about the Bank of Japan. Let's see. It was a split decision, as we know. Attention should also be paid to the impact of the rise in crude oil prices on the outlook for underlying CPI inflation. Let's take a look at oil. Oil futures? No. We can look at oil futures. If you guys have a different oil chart, I know that it's. What is the actual ticker that you guys would use for oil? What is the Let's just check it out. US oil. There, that's what we want. That is what we want. Let's add this one in there. Oh, it's on the watch list, but okay. All right, so now we are looking at the oil. Things are definitely have been escalating since the war, as you know, as far as oil goes. I was really certain that what did Trump say about weren't we going to tap into our own oil? That should have. Let's see what he said here. Trump waves U.S. shipping law for oil and gas in bid to lower prices. Move comes as president attempts to mitigate rising price of oil while carrying out war on Iran. I heard he had given them basically an out, basically saying that Israel was to blame for something, saying that something that they did was a little aggressive. We don't agree to it, and see how that goes. Let's see. The president's trying to manage the delicate balancing act. What does Scott Bessent say? Allow Iranian tankers to pass through the strait to supply the rest of the world. He said, "We think that there will be a natural opening that the Iranians are letting out, and for now, we're fine with that. We want the world to be well supplied. So we're letting the world have their oil. That's good to know." All right, let's look at the next article we have here. That was the Bank of a Japan one. There is that. Traders can now bet on the S&P 500 around the clock without ever touching a traditional stock exchange. Guys, this is going to be massive. Now, earlier we knew that like the NASDAQ was going to go 24/5, right? But as it turns out, the whole idea and what they're saying in the article, and we're going through this because I was skeptical because I had seen some other people saying, here it is, we're going 24/5. This is 24/7. The S&P is 24/7. And I believe the NASDAQ, same thing, is going to go 24/7. But let's go through this. S&P Dow Jones Indices licenses flagship index for crypto trading on Hyperliquid as perpetual futures gain traction beyond traditional markets. What to know? Let's see. They're going to trade XYZ to launch the first officially approved S&P 500 perpetual futures contract on the Hyperliquid blockchain. Congratulations, anybody who was in Hyperliquid. I know that's probably been ripping. I think I saw a chart on that the other day. The new product lets eligible non-U.S. investors trade leverage on-chain S&P 500 exposure around the clock using real-time index data, even when traditional stock markets are closed. The launch underscores S&P's push to expand its benchmarks into digital markets and has conceded with rising trading volumes and gains in Hyperliquid's Hype token. Here we go. They're going to track equity index 24 hours a day. Let's see. In simple terms, this means eligible U.S. non-U.S. investors can trade the S&P 500 on-chain around the clock without using traditional stock exchanges. Perpetual futures, or perps, as you guys like to call them, derivatives instruments without expiration dates. Perps. We perp trade. 24/7 trading. This move opens the door for for non-U.S. investors to get leverage exposure to the S&P 500 through a blockchain-based platform. For example, if big macro news hits on the weekend when the market is closed, traders traditionally need to speculate on how the S&P 500 will move on Monday when the market opens. However, with these new perpetual contracts, traders can place bets immediately and with accuracy as soon as news breaks. Recently, crypto trading. There you go. So it'll give you the edge over the weekend, over the old boys, over the geezers. I like that. All right. Anything else on this one? That's the traders, and here was the S&P chart. We were looking at this last night on the Trade Daddy show. Hope you got a chance to watch that. That was a good one. We talked about Mike's got a new indicator that's on the 5-minute. We'll look at that on Bitcoin in a little while. After we get through all the articles, we'll look at some stuff. But the whole idea of the S&P, man, I would tell you what, it's priming for an opportunity. Look. It's done this a few times where it rolls over and it dips, right? You see, this is more of a rounded one, but you look at like some of these other ones where it rolls. You look at, it rolls and dips. We're about ready to roll and dip. And so if you're an S&P guy or gal, catch that dip and you can do that. And remember, now that you can trade that thing 24/7 on Hyperliquid, can we go to it? Let's see. Where do we find the S&P 500? TradFi? What was the? Does it tell us where the ticker is? S&P 500. Here it is. You are viewing markets deployed independently and permissionally by a third party on Hyperliquid. These markets are surfaced based on on-chain activity and not reviewed, verified, or approved. Trading in these markets may involve elevated risk, including low liquidity, high volatility, incomplete documentation, and increased liquidation risk. You should carefully assess the risks. All right. Look at that. S&P on its way down. So, all right. So it's showing 65.74, and let's go to the chart. 66.24. So you might have some arbitrage opportunities in this actually. 65.74, 66.24. Just saying. There you go. If you were on Hyperliquid, you got access to the S&P 500 24 hours a day. So very interesting. All All right. Forget market hours. Leading ETP. Remember, those are exchange traded products, not exchange traded funds. Not to be mistaken with ETFs. Leading ETP firm just opened 24/7 liquidity for tokenized stocks, gold, and money market funds. Flow Traders just opened up. Let's see what to know. The ETP market giant Flow Traders just launched 24/7 over-the-counter liquidity service for tokenized assets. Institutions can now manage risk on digital stocks, gold, and money market funds even when traditional markets are closed. The service directly addresses the frustration of being stuck as global events erupt over weekends or during aftermarket hours. The world is going on chain. The world is going on chain. You guys heard the intro song. It's the theme of the show. We've been talking about this stuff. It's in the news. The writings are on the fucking wall. If we didn't bottom, we will bottom at some point and things will go up. So if you're afraid to leverage trades, start spot buying. DCA down all the way until things go, and then DCA all the way back up. That's the strategy. That's how you win, right? That's how you win. If you're managing your risk and you don't want to trade, you just want to spot buy, start going for it now. We are at the bottom side of the trends on a lot of these. I don't really advocate for altcoins at the moment, but looking at some of these charts and the trends and knowing that we are where we are going, we're at the bottom side of the trend. If we do decide that we are going to change direction and go back up for even if it's a short period of time, you could still probably make some money. Just remember to always be ready to cut bait. Unless you're holding for the long term, you'll round trip it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if you're trying to get in, get out, make money, if you're trying to scalp, you can scalp spot trade, right? Like that's what you use the fear and greed index for. Like you could spot buy when shit was in the extreme fear and just hang on to it and sell when it's in the greed. It's going to make you money because ultimately the price will be totally different when you get over there. But anyway. Yeah, brother. ESP in the building. Mayo in the building. I see the fam all in the building. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Make sure that you're smashing the like. Make sure that you are smashing that like. I know you are. I know you is. We want to go through this at all? Are we good? We understand the markets are going 24/7. Honestly, stocks, gold, bonds, debt, all of it is going on there. At Flow Traders, we have operated at the intersection of traditional and digital markets for many years, and we are pleased to launch 24/7 OTC liquidity for regulated tokenized equities and commodities for permission counterparties through our digital asset OTC platform. That was from Thomas Spitz. He's the CEO of Flow Traders. The demand mainly comes from institutions that want the ability to manage exposure outside of traditional market hours. I mean, the markets they're global now. People are moving at different paces. It goes in line with updating securities laws. Everything is different now. Everything is different now. Are NFTs really dead, John James? NFTs, as if you were part of the 2021 NFT craze, yes, NFTs as you know them are dead. NFTs in general are not dead. Like, for example, I want to start some companies. They will be tied to in real life businesses. Being a token holder or an NFT holder means that one, you back the company, and two, you are, you do some kind of dividend or reward or whatever it may be, much like issuance of some of these things. And, the SEC, we've got to go through some of the rules and all that stuff. But the whole idea of being able to participate in the new tokenized economy, the fractionalized economy, is how do you fractionalize that? And you can use coins, you can issue coins, and you can issue NFTs, and you can, that I believe is going to be a massive, massive part of where NFTs are going, is the issuance of ownership for a myriad of reasons. But traditionally in the business sense is that's where my mind goes. Other people, different strokes for different folks. I get it. Other people think NFTs are for art, and that's their role, and that's great. That's fantastic. Different brains see different things, and that's a-okay. Nice. run the the Angry Alien Alliance, and they give away $21 on H-bar a week to holders. That's awesome. Look, NFT communities are alive. NFT communities are good. If you are active, if you are doing things, if you are keeping your people happy, if you are living up to your expectations and you're living up to your goals, and again, you're keeping your community satisfied with what they bought into as far as becoming a community member, those are alive. Those are those are great. If you're a rugster, if you are just a serial launcher, and then you move on and you let the CTOs happen, those have potential to fall by the wayside or whatever. But no, NFTs are alive. You just gotta be in the right communities. The SEC approves the NASDAQ rule to trade tokenized securities, paving the way for blockchain integration. And this is massive. You're hearing the just absolute most massive integrations of the traditional financial ecosystem into blockchain. The idea of where we're going, the point of, once we rebound, it's got to be on the wall for you. It's got to be glaring. It's very clear. SEC approved NASDAQ rule change allows certain securities to be traded in tokenized form, a move that integrates blockchain tech into traditional stock market infrastructure. I mean, you heard, this last one, the S&P 500, they're going digital. The SEC approved the NASDAQ going basically digital. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that in just a few years, everything had changed and we had gotten the acceptance. I think a lot of us who had been in the crypto game early on really anticipated this taking much longer to see headlines like this, to see adoption like this, to see integration like this, to see the rails being built, to see the banks competing and all this stuff. Like it's mind-blowing to think that we're here in just a short period of time. It does make you think sometimes. It does make me think that this is all done by design, and this was the next system, and we are the guinea pigs. But I wouldn't have it any other way, and I hope you wouldn't either. So cheers to us. Cheers to the guinea pigs. Yeah, I'm by the dip. By the dip. NFT tickets, absolutely. Your NFT will be your gym membership card. It'll be your sandwich saver card for when you're in your sandwich, and your smoothie card. Like those are going to be the NFTs. It's just going to be in your wallet. That's something that can spin around, and it's on the blockchain, and all of your transactions, and every time you're there, it's there, so that you can be rewarded, and you can be profiled. Remember, all that stuff is data, and that will be used for you and against you. Oof. All right. Epoch, Chainlink, and Synthesis launch tokenized private credit fund in 6 markets. Let's go through this. Chainlink, and this one, it is definitely one of the ones that is going to be in my tokens. You guys know that Chainlink is massive. Not only is it massive, but the integrations that they are playing. Look, we'll go through this article and then we can talk more about it. T Plus tokenized credit fund built to generate yields higher than standard money market instruments. Supports 24/7 on-chain liquidity through both stablecoin and fiat subscription and redemption rails. I mean, you just pay attention to all of the headlines. All you have to do is read the headlines, and you can understand that everything is being integrated for an on-chain, verifiable digital future as far as finance goes, and we're right at the beginning of it, guys. Like this is massive opportunities. I think there's so many opportunities for anybody who is crypto native to play big roles in some of these companies, or even in the as things go on chain to whether you're what is that called, where you, anyway, there's a word I'm looking for, consult for people. Like there's so many opportunities to play a role in this space because of where this ecosystem is going. And for any of us that have been here for a while, like we understand a little bit better than most how this ecosystem works. So just be paying attention, guys. Like the world is going, it's ready for something financially different, and We're going on chain. We're on chain. All right, this article is, let's see, why most tokenized funds have fallen short. This is not really, we wanted it just for the headline that they're launching a tokenized credit fund in 6 markets. Bank of Korea adding 2 banks to digital yuan trials as real world testing begins. As you can see, this is a CBDC, so it's a little different. We have outlawed ours since 2030, or up to 2030 in the new housing bill that was passed recently. But other countries are exploring this. Other nations are checking it out. I fully expect that at some point we will have a CBDC here in the U.S. It will be the white swan incident, right? It will be that whole, hey, if you want your relief, this is how you get it, and that will be, you can get it right now tonight at midnight. Anybody who signs up today between now and 11:59 p.m. and tonight at midnight, you will get your stimmy bucks. Sign up. That's unfortunate. That's how I see it working. Is that doomsday? Definitely. I don't want to be a doomsday guy. Not a doomsday guy. But it is what it is. That's what I think. At least as far as how a CBDC is introduced here into the United States. But for now, Bank of Korea adding 2 banks to their digital yuan trials as real-world testing begins. What to know? Phase 2. This is phase 2. Expanding to 9 commercial banks to test bank-issued deposits for nationwide payments and government subsidies. The new phase will trial large-scale one-pegged deposit tokens. They don't hide. They don't bold it. They don't quote it. Emphasize it. Italicize it. Or they're just trying to slip this in there. Deposit tokens. Deposit tokens. Deposit tokens are not stable coins. Deposit tokens are, I think, like private network style stuff that will probably integrate. You will be able to get your Tether, your USDC, your Bitcoin, whatever, into the swap. But for that to go into your bank, I believe, at least from what it sounds like, is that they are completely different, and that is going to be, this is my ball, and I'm going home, or you can come play on my driveway, kind of a thing. Deposit tokens. We're going to look more into those. Deposit tokens built on a wholesale CBDC layer, aiming to cut transaction costs for both major corporations and small merchants burdened by credit card fees. And the pilot advances as South Korea's broader Digital Asset Basic Act is delayed over disputes about who can issue KRW-pegged stablecoins. Whew. That's some scary shit. CBDCs can be some scary stuff. Ultimately, self-sovereignty and understanding decentralization and DeFi and self-custody is going to be important, probably a lot more important then than it is now. But understanding the importance of it, maybe keeps you out of that system except for when you need to be in it, much like we are now. But for real, if you can, move your things around, if, again, with the CBDC, think about what happened in China, right? Like, if you held on to your CBDC too long, they take it away from you. You cannot save it. You must spend it. They can monitor what you're spending it on. They could probably decline. If you were supposed to be spending it on food and you went to Best Buy, I don't know if they have Best Buy over in China, but, if you went to the electronics store, like, it declines there because you're not buying food with it. Like, they can tell you what you can and cannot purchase. That is what the kind of stuff that can happen with CBDCs. So scary to think about. That's why decentralization, DeFi, understanding self-custody is going to be important. Speaking of the opposite of CBDC, stablecoins, not deposit tokens either. Stablecoins. PayPal introducing stablecoin PYUSD to users across 70 markets. So they've had this for a while, but now the integration into more markets is great. We love that. NASDAQ PayPal and unveiled a significant expansion of its dollar-backed stablecoin, introducing PYUSD to users across 70 international markets. This was just the other day. It functions as a stablecoin issued by Paxos Trust and maintains a collateralization to reserves consisting of American dollar bank deposits, government securities like U.S. Treasuries, and comparable liquid assets. Do we have any quotes here? Commenting on the launch, May, that's PayPal's Senior Vice President and General Manager for Crypto Initiatives, emphasized the limitations of existing payment infrastructures. Spanning regions such as Asia Pacific, Europe, Latin America, North America. The initial wave encompasses nations including Colombia, Peru, United Kingdom, and the United States, among others. I'll have to check. I will have to check and see. That was one of those things like with PayPal. I had a PayPal business account, and I was not, because you had a business account, you could not take advantage of any of the crypto stuff that they had. And so now I would assume that that is gone away, that, you know, as a business entity, like you could accept crypto. Like that would make the most sense, especially if it's integrated into the platform. Fucking integrate it. Let everybody use it. It's been a while since I've gone into PayPal, so I'll have to check it. Overall, the initiative reflects PayPal's ongoing efforts to innovate in payments tech. All right. And on, look, just as equally as PayPal, you got Shopify. They're signaling stablecoin preference with USDC integration. I mean, these are these are big things. John James. David, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Never keep all your money on the exchange. Diversify. Absolutely not. Y'all know, and it'll come up. I'm going to keep this up. I'm not going to go solo because I want you guys to remember. Look, we're getting things formalized. I've got these Tangent wallets, and I need to give them away to you. And oh, dude, crypto. David, OG in crypto. It's been here since 2013. Love to see that. Appreciate you being here, man. That may appreciate you. The whole idea of what you should be doing right now, you should definitely get, unless you're actively trading, you should keep a stack on an exchange just for that. But when you take your profits, when you win a trade, like, again, like, I don't think the whole idea for me is to, you know, I gotta say $1,000 in the account, and we're working it up. You know, it's up a little bit more, but I generally just keep $1,000 in the in the trade account, and in the spot account is where, you know, I pull the profits. And every now and then, you know, when that gets enough, I take that and I throw that into cold storage. The whole point is y'all should be doing that. Y'all should be taking your profits. If you trade, you should take your profits, put them into Bitcoin or whatever coin that you think that you should be holding long term. I know some people aren't going to listen to me, and so I will give you your option. I will not be, you know, I will not be the dictator. But you should be putting everything into Bitcoin right now, and then putting it into cold storage. I'm going to be giving away a few of these Tangent wallets very soon here. But when the QR code comes down, if you're like, man, you know what? I just need one. I need a cold storage wallet. I don't want to wait and try to win it. You can do that. Use code JChains when you do that. Remember, there's a code down there, and it'll save you some money. It will save you money. And then, pretty soon, when we have all of our profits and we're rich and loaded again, you can start buying. I would assume with stablecoin integration on Shopify, pretty much anywhere that has Shopify online, any online retailer, you should be able to spend some stablecoin. And so that's, to me, that is ultimately that's the goal, is spend the stablecoin, not the Bitcoin, right? Like, nobody wants to sell Bitcoin, you know, at the point of sale for coffee, because then eventually you're going to track that, like, oh, how much was that? That was 0.0 whatever, 0.00 what? I mean, now it's different, but spend some stablecoin. That's way better than spending the biddy. Stay with the big name cryptos with Coinbase, you won't have issues. Definitely. I mean, you know, if my mom, so I do advocate for people using centralized services to some extent, like a Coinbase, right? It is a reputable name. They are integrating a lot of things. Some people just don't want the self-custody thing, right? I ultimately, years down the road, that will become a little bit more important, and I do believe that people understand that. But for now, you know, just making sure that while we are building and learning and growing and developing. Hello there. How are you? You can come say hi? It's that time of the morning. It's time for Emmy to say, smash the like button.
Smash the like button.
What's up, everybody? How are you? How'd you sleep? Good. What you gonna have for breakfast?
Sausage patties.
Sausage patties and eggies. And maybe some of Mommy's, oh, I think we ate it all. I think we finished it yesterday. Mommy's been making some sourdough bread. We're a sourdough house. We make sourdough, just about everything. Sourdough waffles, sourdough pizza crust, because we got that sourdough starter. So we're gonna have some sourdough bread, I would think. Say what's up to everybody. Say ciao for now. And we're gonna start. I'm gonna start a little like a segment. When you come in here, I'm gonna do some research and a segment that we can start. Then when you come in here, we'll start doing it. All right. I love you. Eat your breakfast. Smash that like button. Do it for her sake. All right. Thank you for asking, though. I love you. You forgot something. All right, quick break. Had to say good morning to my princess. All right, back to this. Shopify signaling stablecoin preferences with USDC integration. This is massive, guys, especially with the ability to pretty much buy anything online with stablecoin. Shopify is integrating the stablecoin USDC directly into its core payment stack, allowing merchants to accept digital dollars at checkout without adding new providers or changing their workflows. This feature is embedded inside Shopify payments, meaning merchants can turn it on alongside credit cards and other existing payment options. So now the barrier to entry lies with the business, not the consumer. If the consumer, I would say that we should start an advocacy group for online retailers to check that box. If you guys want to join me, we can do that. We could do Check That Box DAO, launching right now. Let's see. Would you join? I think that we should do that. We're going to start a little advocacy group, see if we can get on and see if we can find a whole list of online retailers and see if they will check yes for integration of the stablecoin USDC on their payment stack without changing their workflow. Remember, this does not change the workflow. They just have to go into their dashboard. I think I have a Shopify account. I should look at this and I will double check all this stuff. Shopper can select USDC at checkout, pay from a crypto wallet, and complete the purchase much like any other transaction. On the back end, merchants can choose whether to receive the funds in traditional fiat payouts or settle in USDC on chain. Look at that. See, like what I would do is I would say, yeah, I want it all in USDC. I want it to this wallet. And then I want to get a notification every time it comes to this wallet. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swap it into Bitcoin and then throw it into a Tangent wallet. That's what I'm doing. And I hope that you would do the same thing too if you're an online business. And that's what we're going to start. We're going to start an advocacy group for that. If you guys want to join that, let me know. Drop a comment, shoot me a DM. Let's go. All right. That basically the headline telegraphs the entire thing here. Massive exposure, mass adoption. Anyone in the fucking world can spend crypto on anything online, assuming the business owner checks yes. So that's the new, that's what we're saying. Check yes, check yes. Tokenized RWA market hits $27 billion as treasury products lead the growth. Let's go RWA.xyz. Here you go, 27.32 billion. Treasury debt, commodities, asset-backed. Oh, way to go. Here we go. Asset-backed credit, specialty finance, non-U.S. government debt, corporate credit, stocks, diversified credit. U.S. Treasury debt this tells us the nice little story here on a pie chart. You guys like pie charts? Big fan of pie charts. Let's see what's here. We got active strategies, real estate, venture capital, private equity, and then obviously a gazillion probably other things. But U.S. Treasury debt, $11.5 billion, setting at the mecca of all of this RWA stuff. Let's look at U.S. Treasuries really quick. We will look at stablecoins too because we did not look at that chart. Obviously growing, up 3% in the last 7 days, up to $11.67 billion. Every single day this is going up. Will continue to go up for the foreseeable future for many, many years to come. So if you can bet on this, bet on this. Tokenized Treasury League table. You've got right now Circle, Securitized Ondo, number 1, 2, 3. Franklin Templeton, number 4. Stable coins should be 301 billion, down a little bit. We were looking at this yesterday, a little bit of a valley here. It may be on a if we could Maybe if we could zoom in a little bit. Yeah, right here, you could see we are a little bit of a dip. So definitely down almost 2% in the last 30 days, $301 billion. We'll see what happens for stablecoins for over the next several weeks here. That's an article that we looked at earlier. All right, so it is 9:25. 9:25. Let's look at the Bitcoin chart. Definitely a good opportunity to get into a long for maybe a quick scalp. Because look, down, up, down, up. You never know, right? Let's look at some different time frames. This is on the daily here. Actually, this is not the chart that we want to be looking at. Just erase everything that I just said. And look at the 5 minute. Let's put on. Actually, what we need to do. Let's get ourselves ready for 9:30 because it is 9:26. We've kind of flattened out here. Yesterday, if you played the 9:15 candle game, let's see. So this is going to be the 9:30 start right here. So let's go here. And then just for shits and giggles, we're going to send it down here. Okay. So when we get to the 9:30 candle starting, we're going to create our bookends of top and bottom, right? And then from there, when it drops out of that zone, that is when we are potentially going to end up going long. Now, let's take a look at some previous examples of this. Okay, so today's the 19th, the 18th. I mean, you can already see where this is going yesterday. I mean, you fucking nailed it. If we did this yesterday and you hung on, I mean, it's like, that was the top. And that was the bottom. Roughly in there, right? Let's just zoom in to make sure. All right, so that was the zone yesterday. And if you played this thing and you had diamond balls, or diamond boobs for the ladies, and you shorted that moment, you'd be up at the bottom here when we bought. It was 4%. Throw on some leverage there. Crushed it. Do I expect that kind of activity today? No. I actually think that we should go up a little today, to be honest with you. I think we got to breathe, catch back up to some of our VWAPs, catch back up to our previous dailies, catch back up to some of those metrics. That's my opinion. I am going to be feeling a little bullish today, biased, ready for that to happen. I know you're in a downtrend until you're not. But with all the downward activity that we've had, with all of this, I think it's, oh man, I hate when that it doesn't let go. With that kind of downward action, I would think that today we are set for a little bit of a relief, right? I wouldn't think that this is not a rounded bottom at all. But I think that we're going to have a little bit, even if we just come up a little bit into the, into this area. Even if we just come back up into there and mess around in there today, good opportunity to catch along, get back up into there, and there's probably going to be some volatility. Maybe we go up here, maybe we come back down. Remember, this is the 5-minute chart. Let's do the 15-minute chart. And so, coming back up here before, I don't expect us to get back up here into this zone, where we have, this level up here in the 73s, but at least just coming back up here, or even at the very minimum. Well, that was, man, sometimes I draw bad lines, bad squares, coming back up into there. So that's kind of what my goal is, that we're going to come back up into one of these zones here. And so I will be looking for a long today, because now we are in the 930 candle. So right now, here's our bottom. Oh, so this is where we set our goalposts. And then, again, we've got now 14 minutes and some change. And so I'm not gonna sit here and just keep moving this around while we're alive. I'm gonna do this, and I'll put some messages into the Discord so that if you guys are in there and you want to play along today, that's great. Let's have some conversations. Let's chit chat. Let's have a good time. We're gonna head off to Costco this morning, but I'll be back and I'll be at my computer for a while. But I got to do a little bit of stuff, and we're gonna try to catch this trade today, see how it works, and we'll see how it goes. So yesterday would have been a massive day. I firmly think that we're gonna go up today, just a little bit, even if it's just a little bit of a relief rally. We could continue back on later this week into the weekend. Remember, today's Thursday. We're gonna start. Liquidity is gonna drop off. Volume is gonna start to drop off. With that being said, some moves may be a little bit more steep. I think maybe a nice little a breather over today into tomorrow, maybe into the weekend would be great. We'll see. You never really know. We'll be checking the charts. All right, that does it for today. I appreciate you guys hanging out here today. Remember, there's a couple things. Dropping the macro minute every morning. Make sure you guys check that out. That goes live before the show. And so let me know, give me some feedback. Let me know if you want to see something different, if the format should be changed. If you want to see something just, something different, just let me know. I'm open to feedback. We're just trying to make it happen right now. And I'm just experimenting a bunch of different ways to see what works, how things look. And so, yeah, shoot me a message, shoot me a DM, drop a comment in one of the videos. Let me know. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate all the feedback. Appreciate the help. And let's get it. Remember, 1% better every single day. So today is Thursday. We will be back tomorrow morning. I'm not sure what is going on this afternoon. If there's any live shows, I'll probably try to pop into some spaces or whatever. But for now, have yourself a wonderful rest of the day. And I will see you guys in the morning. See you.